So, A Ward, the A Ward, signed a multi-battle deal with the Riot. A Ward's upcoming opponent is Rum Nitty. Rum Nitty just finished letting us know that he will likely not be battling on URL for much longer. I think those two things have something to do with each other. Let's talk about it.
Battle Booth is half a gang on the low. He half a gang on the low. I'm Battle Booth gang, so y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is.
The Battle Booth. If you look him up, y'all go subscribe to his channel.
This is crazy. This is crazy. How am I just finding this out today? How am I just finding this out today, bruh? A Ward. Where does A Ward fit into the equation of Geechi Gotti retiring from battle rap, Rum Nitty no longer battling on URL, and Swamp versus Chef Trez being blocked? Where does A Ward fit into this entire equation? Bro, why am I just finding this out today? The more that I find out, the more that it's helping me to come to this conclusion and this point as to what's really going on in the background, bro, right now. Because I feel like there is something that's going on in the background right now with URL, Geechi Gotti, Rum Nitty, and that whole situation. Swamp, Chef Trez, the Riot, URL. I feel like these things have something to do with each other, bro. And typically when it comes to things like this, it is. It has to do with politics. Politics get in the way of what's going on. Politics, bro. Just yesterday I dropped the blog. Rum Nitty let us know via Twitter, right, that he doesn't plan on being on the URL stage too much more. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Just recently, on top of that, we had Geechi Gotti, right, confirm that he was going to be retiring from battle rap to focus on other endeavors. Other endeavors. One of those endeavors being the Riot. One of those endeavors being the Riot, bro. It has come to my attention today that A Ward, right? I want y'all to see this post real quick. I want y'all to see this real quick. A Ward. A Ward says he signed a 2-battle deal with the Riot for the Rum Nitty battle. He would like the second battle of his deal to be against T-Top. This is interesting. This is interesting. Because it seems as if though Geechi Gotti has managed to do something here that the URL has not managed to do. Lock down A Ward into a contract. The reason that URL is unable to lock down somebody like A Ward into a contract is because URL is a label. They're like Interscope or whatever label you want to say. URL is not going to allow A Ward to control or take control of his career. They're not going to allow A Ward to sit here and pick and choose who he wants to battle. They're not going to allow that type of thing to happen, bro. The Riot just might. The Riot, owned by Geechi Gotti, just might. He has an upcoming battle with Rum Nitty, which would never have happened on URL unless A Ward was under some kind of crazy contract for multiple battles, not knowing, no guarantees, no guaranteed money, no nothing. Unless that was the case, he wouldn't get a Rum Nitty battle. But in this situation, it seems as if though A Ward was offered a much better deal over at the Riot, which was a 2-battle deal that we just saw. 2-battle deal battling a top tier Rum Nitty, and his second option or his second battle, he wants to be another top tier T-Top. These are things that the URL would not do for A Ward. The fact that A Ward is now battling Rum Nitty, right, is battling Rum Nitty on September 3rd, may actually be, or may have something to do with what Rum Nitty recently posted on Twitter, which is that he will likely not be on the URL stage for much longer. The reason that Rum Nitty probably feels like that, and this is just, I'm speculating right now, right, is because it's very possible, and I've seen people post this as well. I've seen people say that the URL tried to block the Rum Nitty versus A Ward battle because Rum Nitty is a URL battler, pretty much, as of right now. I don't think URL is okay or necessarily cool with the fact that one of their top tier battlers, Rum Nitty, is going to battle in A Ward, somebody who they couldn't lock down into a contract, on another league. Rum Nitty's considered a URL battler. Multiple sources have come out and said that URL tried to block the Rum Nitty versus A Ward battle. So did Rum Nitty get some kind of offer, right? Or was he told something that made him look at URL some kind of way? Did URL try offering Rum Nitty, right, a multi-battle contract or a bag so that Rum Nitty didn't battle A Ward? If that happened, that fully explains, bro, 1000% explains why Rum Nitty, right, would say, I don't think I'm gonna be on the URL stage too much more. Think about this. Let's think about this for a second, man. Let's think about this for a second. Because there's a lot of things being thrown into this equation. But all the things that are being thrown into the equation justify why URL would try and block the battle, why Rum Nitty is looking to separate from the URL now, why Geechi Gotti is looking to separate from the URL now, why A Ward would sign a 2-battle deal with the Riot and not a multi-battle deal with URL. A lot of the information that's coming out as it pertains to this whole situation, right, with the Riot and URL, bro, this is all very telling. This is all very telling. These issues start to pop up on a card where there's like 2 URL battlers, Rum Nitty and Swamp. Both those battlers have some kind of controversy now as it pertains to the Riot card and or URL. Swamp, his situation and backing out of the battle with Chef Trez, and Rum Nitty posting on social media and to the public that he doesn't even feel like he's going to be on URL much longer. Bro, these things lead me to believe that the URL tried some funny stuff in the background, bro, as it pertained to this card. As it pertained to this Riot card, URL was trying some funny stuff in the background, bro. Which would 100% explain why it is that Rum Nitty is looking to separate himself from it. Let's think about this for a second, right? The URL doesn't have to tell Rum Nitty that they're trying to block a battle. They couldn't. He's Geechi's boy. You can't tell Rum Nitty, oh, we're gonna, we're gonna. No, the URL would do it in a much more slick way. What would happen is, okay, Rum Nitty is scheduled to battle A-Ward on September 3rd. Okay, maybe around the halfway point through August or a little later in August, the URL offers Rum Nitty, right, a multi-battle deal, a contract, an exclusive contract, exclusive. They offer him the exclusive contract. They don't have to say anything about, oh, you don't have to battle you can't battle on the Riot, or they don't have to say anything about that, right? Because once you sign that contract, the contract itself says that you can't battle here or there. It's up to URL at that point if you sign that contract. So what would happen if Rum Nitty did sign a contract for a multi-battle deal or an exclusive contract? He would not have been able to battle A-Ward on September 3rd on the Riot. You would not be able to, because now you're locked into an exclusive contract. You're at the mercy of the URL. This is speculation, bro. But I wouldn't put it past URL, bro, to have tried something like that with Rum Nitty. I would not put it past the URL to have tried something like that with Rum Nitty, which likely left a very bad taste in Rum Nitty's mouth. Left a bad taste. And then he decided to put up this post. He's not going to be on URL for much longer. The Riot is becoming and going to become a competitor to the URL, bro. That's point blank, period. That's just the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. And the fact that the Riot can already do things like have people like Rum Nitty, Swamp, booked on a card, A-Ward, seems to be becoming an issue for the URL. Again, the URL doesn't have to outright tell any battle rapper that they're trying to block that they're actually trying to block a battle. The battle rappers sometimes themselves won't even know that the URL is blocking a battle. All they have to do is offer you something to where you're like, that sounds good. Once you put your name on that paper, now you're on an exclusive contract, bro. And this is solely one of the reasons that I feel like Rum Nitty is expressing what he's expressing today. Geechi Gotti understanding this type of thing is also, that's one of the reasons that I feel like Geechi Gotti is going in the direction that he's going as well. He sees that. A-Ward sees that. Rum Nitty sees that. I'm sure that Swamp sees that too, but he can't really say anything because he's in a good position right now. With and under the URL. To be completely honest with y'all, I don't think Swamp could do the battle even if he wanted to. And this is why I believe that the URL is behind it. I don't believe Swamp could do that battle with Chef Trez even if he wanted to. Because he's under an exclusive contract. So he's at the mercy of the URL and Caffeine. This is speculation. Speculation. But again, what I'm seeing, adding everything up, putting two and two together, understanding that a lot of the moves that are made are due to politics. A lot of the things that happen are due to business and politics, knowing this type of thing, bro, this is what I think is going on right now in the background. As far as like this controversy with the Swamp and Chef Trez, the Riot, Geechi Gotti retiring, Rum Nitty leaving URL. The URL probably really effed up this time, bro. I'm thinking the URL really effed up, bro. And then on top of that, bro, somebody like Geechi Gotti probably seeing this whole series of ARP breaking down how it is that the URL does shady business is also helping reassure and reconfirm to Geechi Gotti that he really needs to be careful. That he really needs to watch his relationships, who he deals with, how he deals with business, not put so much faith and trust into another entity like the URL. Geechi Gotti's learning that right now too. This whole thing is crazy, man. This whole thing is crazy, bro. I need to know what y'all thinking though, man. Let me know what y'all think. You already know what it is. It's your boy Joe coming at you live and direct from the battle.